Ah, the good old days at our grandparents' house. The smell of fresh coffee, the hum of the sewing machine, and the objects that, in some way, became part of our fond memories. Each tool, each invention, had a purpose. Often strange, but always ingenious. Today, we're going to take a look at 10 old household tools you probably never imagined ever existed. Get ready to be surprised, and maybe even feel a little nostalgic.
Imagine a vacuum cleaner as big as a car, with a giant motor that instead of being portable was kept in the basement of the house. The pit vacuum was an early 20th century invention, and its purpose was to clean the house without anyone having to worry about carrying the machine from room to room. What made it special? It had a long hose that ran through the entire house, and the sound? It was almost like a monster roaring. However, with the rise of more portable and efficient models, this massive machine became obsolete and eventually disappeared.
Today, we have automatic machines that do almost all the work for us. But not too long ago, our grandmothers used pedal-powered washing machines. These machines were essentially a combination of a rotating drum and a bicycle pedal. You pedaled, and voila, your clothes were washed. Though incredibly effective, the lack of automation and the physical labor involved eventually gave way to electric washers, which were faster and less tiring. Who would have thought that before modern freezers, homes had ice machines? These tools work like ice trays, but on a larger scale. They were somewhat of a luxury item for the middle class, something you were really proud to have in your kitchen. Unfortunately, as freezers and refrigerators became more popular, these machines became obsolete, as the concept of making ice at home was simplified. In the 1940s and 1950s, canned goods didn't come with the handy can opener we know today. Instead, people used a tool with a crank that would puncture the can, and after a good spin, it would be open. While this method was effective, the slow process and risk of injury helped more straightforward and safer openers take its place, causing the crank version to fade away.
This device was a true revolution for meat preparation in the 50s and 60s. While the cheese grater was a simple tool, the electric meat grater allowed you to turn chunks of meat into tiny pieces quickly and efficiently. What made it special was its ability to make meat preparation for recipes like meatballs or ground beef much faster. Over time, however, pre-ground meat began to be sold at markets, and this invention faded into the past.
Before the electric irons we know today, there was the charcoal iron. It worked with hot charcoal inside, and the owners had to keep an eye on the temperature. It wasn't convenient, but it added a rustic charm to household chores. With the invention of quicker and more efficient electric irons, this model became obsolete. It wasn't a loss for most people, but it definitely left a little piece of the past behind. Before the modern electric sewing machines with foot pedals, there were pedal sewing machines, which were like miniature bicycles. You pedaled with your feet while guiding the needle manually. They weren't just useful tools, they were a symbol of skill and dedication. With the advancement of electric machines, this mechanical beauty lost its place and became a mere decorative piece. Who doesn't love French fries? But before modern fryers were around, there were manual models that were operated by cranks. You'd place the potatoes, turn the crank, and magic happened. Not to mention, the smell of hot oil was part of the experience, wasn't it? This type of fryer disappeared with the popularization of electric fryers that were not only faster, but also easier to use and clean.
In the 1960s, electric vegetable cutters were a must-have tool for homemakers. With a sharp blade that sliced vegetables into thin pieces, this machine did the hard work of cutting veggies and fruits much faster than a traditional knife. The problem was the size and complexity. Eventually, the popularity of smaller and more versatile food processors made this cutter obsolete.
And finally, the tea cart. More than just a tool, this was a symbol of class and hospitality in the 50s and 60s. It was designed to carry the tea tray, cups, and even little pastries in an elegant and practical way, perfect for afternoon chats and relaxation. But over time, the formal tea gatherings declined, and the tea cart became a rare item, a nostalgic object that represents an era of comfort and good manners.
So, how many of these tools have you seen in action or heard about? It's amazing how things change over time, but the nostalgia for certain objects always brings a warm feeling to our hearts. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your favorite memories of days gone by. See you next time, folks, and may the nostalgic spirit continue to guide us.